Oh my goodness. Hello. How are you doing out there? Welcome in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be where you are out there. My name is Jeff Fritz, and I'm not a Code It Live chicken, but I am here to introduce the Love Connection Love Week on the Code It Live channel. We're going to have a great week of live coding for you that is going to celebrate our love of technology and a little bit of goofiness. Not going to lie, a little bit of goofiness. So let's talk about what's happening in the week ahead here. This is just the beginning of a fantastic week of joy and love for coding. So what's going to happen? We have two teams that are going to be competing this week for prizes, for bragging rights, and they are Team Candy Hearts and Team Valentine's Grinch. Now, these two teams, they're two experienced developers on each team. They know their stuff. They've got their chops. They are experts at building applications, but they need a third to complete the group so they have a full team that's going to build an application together. And today, they're going to be selecting their third partner, their third teammate, love connection dating game style, just like you may have seen in some TV shows from the 90s and the 80s, right? Now, we have the contestants in the green room. Not this green room, different green room. And their voices are being distorted. Their cameras are turned off, so nobody knows who they are. We've identified them by a number, contestant number, so that we can refer to them, we can interact with them, and we know who they are, right? When we unmask them at the end and we find out who each one of our teams choose to be their third partner on their team. All right. Now, we've got a series of questions that we can interview these folks with and figure out if they're a good match, if we've made a good developer connection for their teams. All right. They don't know who the partners are. And there's a couple really good partners. And there's some folks who, well, they might not plug in and fit too well with some of the teams. So we're going to get through that, and they're going to be doing some work on stream Thursday and Friday. They're going to have time to stream and build a Valentine's Day inspired app. Now, they're going to need your help, chat room, in defining a name, building a logo, writing a little bit of code, and along the way, of course, there will be prizes, there will be opportunities for you to participate along the way. And those contestants not chosen today to join a team and help with the development, they're going to be asked to come back on Friday to help us decide, well, which team built the best app. All right. I think we're ready to go here. I think we've introduced this enough. There's a question here in the chat room. Are there imposters? Maybe. I can tell you one thing for certain. One of the contestants is not me. So they don't have to worry about getting this guy, this thing on their team. No worry there. There might be an evildoer. I don't know if there's an evildoer on the team, but there's definitely some folks that are going to be tremendous assets for these teams, and some folks might not be as good a technical resource as others. So let's welcome our teams. Let's learn a little bit about some of the folks that are going to be participating this week. Let me start with Team Candy Hearts. This is Ed and Alyssa. Here we go. Let's bring them on. Let me find the button. There's a button here. Hey, there's Alyssa. She's over there. And there's Ed.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm great, Jeff. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's been snowing here, and I'm looking forward to a nice Valentine's week here with it to celebrate our love of coding. How are you, Alyssa?
I'm so excited.
So excited. Okay. So I know the two of you work together at the Big Progress software. Let's get to know you a little bit better. So Ed, Alyssa, let's start with Ed. What frameworks do you enjoy writing software with?
So I am primarily a web developer, so anything web usually goes with me. HTML, CSS, sometimes JavaScript, but as of late, I haven't had to write any of that headachy, messy JavaScript code because I have a new thing called Blazor to play with,
Yeah.
which gives me full stack .NET applications. So I can run the .NET framework in the browser, write C# code, have strong types, have a compiled language to work with, and use all my favorite NuGet packages. So that's been my go-to tool of destruction.
Very cool. And Alyssa, what types of applications, what frameworks do you like to write?
So I'm always been over on the Angular side of the world. I learned JavaScript and AngularJS first, and then migrated over to Angular. So that's where my comfort zone is. But I specialize in front end and CSS, sassy bits, creating beautiful UI and UX. So it's always fun to work with Ed. I told him that we could absolutely go Blazor on this project as long as I got to rip out Bootstrap. I think he agreed. I don't know. I've already done it.
So we both like web applications. Ed, not so much with the JavaScript, but Alyssa, really good with Angular. And of course, Blazor has a JavaScript interop bridge, so maybe there's an opportunity to use a little bit of both there. That could be cool. Now, I've got a couple more questions here that inquiring minds want to know, and I'm going to start with Alyssa since we started with Ed last time. This time I'll start with Alyssa. So, Alyssa, what was the last pull request that you submitted to a project on GitHub?
I think it was from like a week or so ago with Made with Angular.
Okay.
I'm a group of GDEs that work on that.
Mhm.
It wasn't anything exciting. It was
GDEs,
just
those are gosh
Google-
darn engineers.
Google Developer Experts. It's
Oh,
their
okay.
advocacy program. So we don't work for Google or get paid by Google, but we are advocates for Google products. And so I'm an Angular GDE, and a group of me and some GDE friends are working on we have some features that we want to work on, but right now I'm just working on adding and updating data on the madewithangular.com site. So
Okay, cool. And Ed, let's ask you, what was the last pull request that you sent in over on GitHub?
I sent a PR into the .NET Docs team on a Blazor input file component. So updating some docs on doing how to upload some files from WebAssembly to a ASP.NET Server application. And then before that, I submitted a PR on something you might call Clip Talk. Does that sound familiar?
I know that. That's my favorite new application.
I donated a couple bits to that one.
I like that. So chat room, everybody out there, listen to this. They're building documentation. They're building some helpful things to help with packages out there that everybody can use. Oh my gosh, that's great. And now I got to ask both of you, when was the last time you deleted a production database?
I'm trying to think if I've ever actually done that. I know we've had some...
Because you're not a real developer until you've deleted production, okay?
Yeah.
And it just happened to me actually on that Clip Talk website about 3 weeks ago. I accepted a pull request and production database disappeared. So
I don't believe I've deleted a production database, but I have accidentally deleted source code
okay,
and had to use Telerik just decompile to go back and
to recover.
decompile the source code and then rename a lot of things back to proper names, which you have to like do a little balancing act there to decide whether it's rewrite it from scratch or try to decipher the decompiled code.
Yeah.
But there were some proprietary bits in there that we did recover, and I saved my skin.
And get it working. And Alyssa, how about you? Same question. When was the last time you deleted the production database?
So my job before this, I was a dev at a very small startup of 5 developers.
Yeah.
And it was split down the middle of 2 front end, 2 back end, and 1 QA. And they gave me access to production, and I was like, why do I have access to this? I was like, because I was doing things on it, and I was like, hey, the live site just updated. And they were like, yeah, this is the live site. And I was like, why would you give me access to that? And they were like, don't break it. So that was terrifying. And ever since that moment, because they didn't really have like a testing site. They were just like,
Mhm.
it was literally pushing to master. Like, and every change to the database
Oh.
was the live thing. And so I was absolutely mortified at that point once I found out. And luckily, nothing that I'd put. I mean, it wasn't something that we wanted on production, so I undid quickly. But it
Mhm.
wasn't anything embarrassing either.
Oh, all right.
But yeah, I tread very carefully at that job.
Yeah.
I was scared.
Well, thank you very much, Team Candy Hearts. It's great to get to know you, but I want to meet now Team Valentine's Grinch. Where are they at? Can we bring in Team Valentine's Grinch? Let's say goodbye to them and bring in Team Valentine's Grinch. There they are. TJ VanToll, Sam Basu. Sam's muted himself, so we can't hear him.
I'm impressed with your pointing. You got the directions right there and everything. It's next level.
It's like I'm sitting in the same room or something. My goodness. TJ and Sam, it's so good to see you again. Gosh, let me start with TJ here. TJ, what types of applications do you build and what frameworks do you prefer using?
So I like JavaScript, React, and long walks on the beach. I think that's how I'm supposed to do it for this, right? Now I'm a front end person. I've got my like stated JavaScript shirt here, right?
Nice.
Like I'm showing off the swag. So I've been doing JavaScript from back before, like back when JavaScript was only used for form validation. And I see somebody's got access to StreamYard here is screwing things up, but really all things JavaScript. I did jQuery for a long time, Backbone. I've even toyed into like I have some stories. I've done Java work. I've done PHP, Perl, but prefer to work in a JavaScript world, regardless of what that means.
Yeah. And Sam, what type of applications, what type of frameworks do you enjoy using?
Well, hello, internet. So let me start with saying I'm old. Okay, I don't like anything these cool kids are into. I hate everything web. No, maybe hate is a strong word, but I'm old.
Wow.
So I like my old school stuff. I like desktop. I like mobile. You can do pretty fancy modern stuff with those. If you look down in your devices, most of you are running native apps. So for the native team, and we are the team Grinches because I think Grinch has ruined many Christmas. So we were like, why not Valentine's Day next? And I'm kind of getting into my dark mood, as you can see. So,
All right. So get a little Fortran in there from Sam. See how that goes. So what was the last pull request that you submitted to a project? We'll start with Sam.
Like I said, I'm not cool, so I don't do too much open source now, but I do. So a lot of
have a GitHub ID. Let's start there.
I deleted that. No, I mean Docs is just a great way to contribute back for all of our products here at Progress Telerik. We like to keep the Docs open source, even if maybe some of the products are not. And whenever you see a thing, you fix it. So I think the last couple must have been Docs.
Cool. And TJ, same question.
Yeah, similar kind of boring answer. I'm like the obsessive. I think every developer has something about their brain, but for me, it's like little typos in docs. Like I feel like this absolute compulsion to fix it. And so like for some reason, it was like it's versus it's, right? The apostrophe.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I seem to be the only developer on the planet that knows the distinction really well. And when I see it off, like I just feel like absolutely compelled. Like there is something off in the world.
It must be fixed.
Just the other day, I fixed one in the Kendo React docs. I fixed it, I pushed it, and I slept really great that night. So,
that's great.
Yeah.
And now I'll start with TJ. When was the last time you deleted a production database?
So I don't think I've deleted a database, but I've screwed up plenty of things in production in my time. And the one that comes to mind the most is I screwed up Git history for basically everybody. So a great way to learn Git, as I've discovered, is if you do something wrong and push it out to your entire team. The great thing about Git is it documents all of this. So everybody instantly knows exactly who screwed up. But you do discover with Git, you can sort of rewrite history. So it's a good learning experience, right? Because it gets your heart rate up. You got to fix it fast. You got everybody hovering over you. It's a really great learning experience. So. Nice. I mean, I both recommend it and don't recommend it at the same time. But
okay, rebase and push force. Nice. Hey Sam, when was the last time you deleted a production database?
I've escaped. Had a few near close calls. I've deleted plenty of what's called again. Coding Bandit in the chat room is saying I like XAML as much. Yeah, XAML rules and desktop and .NET rules. I've deleted plenty of stored procs in production because you had access, and developers should not have access because we will mess it up. That's why you have folks who know what they're doing to push things out to production. So I've had a few close calls, but I've learned that if you have production access, you should probably run out of the window.
You're right, though. It's a rite of passage. I think every junior developer wants production access and can't understand why they don't have it until it happens to them, and then all of a sudden it clicks. Like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Oops, sorry. Oh my goodness. All right, very good. Now let's bring back in Team Candy Hearts with Team Valentine's Grinch, and let's meet our contestants, shall we? We've got four contestants. I think there we go. Here they come. There we go. We've got over here. We've got contestant 314 below. Over there we've got contestant 13, contestant 5138008, and contestant 25. Oh my goodness! Now, teams, this is the time when you get to ask questions of the contestants. Now, I'm going to help kind of provide a little bit of traffic here and let each team ask questions of the contestants so you can learn a little bit more about each of our contestants. Now, they're all on mute now, so we'll ask them and get them to chime in. But we want to make sure that each one of the teams gets to ask about 2 or 3 questions. It's kind of like Hollywood Squares, and I'm in the middle, what's his name? Jim J. Bullock.
It's very conveniently 9 squares too, which I don't know if we planned that, but it's just a nice touch.
And I am not Alice. I'm not cleaning. Maybe I am. I'm cleaning all this up at the end.
I'm going to make one quick note here, okay? What we're doing this week is going to be super fun. This is Love Connection Week because it's Valentine's Day that's coming up. But This is inspired from, you mentioned, Jeff, there was a show back in the early 80s called Love Connection, okay? Mm-hmm. And I implore you to not go look it up because it is very cringeworthy. There are so many things wrong, but
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
things have changed in the 40 years since. So I can't believe I just said that. All right, moving on. So let's start with Team Candy Hearts first. Team Candy Hearts, why don't you start with your first question to our wonderful panel of contestants here, so you can learn a little bit more and decide who you'd like to invite to join your team. Okay, Alyssa's ready.
I'm so excited. Okay. First, contestant 5138008. Hello.
Okay, there's your question. Next, Ed, do you have a question?
Hello and welcome to our team.
Yeah, somebody muted me. So, did you have a question, Alyssa?
Nope.
Yes.
That
was about it. Okay.
Yeah. Ed, I think you should get us started with questions. I just love their contestant random number so much that I feel like I'm going to be very biased. So,
okay.
Are we targeting an individual contestant, or is it?
Oh yeah, do we just ask to all of them?
What you can ask a question to the entire panel if you'd like.
Okay.
Or if there's someone you'd like to talk to a little more.
When we opened up, Alyssa said she removed Bootstrap from our test repo. What is your feelings towards Alyssa's removal of Bootstrap?
So, yeah, go ahead. You can start off contestant 5138008.
Bad move.
Bad move. Okay.
Bad move.
How about contestant 314? Do you have anything to chime in? Let's go around the horn here. What do you think about deleting Bootstrap from a project?
I think it's a good idea.
Think it's a good idea. Okay. One good, one bad. How about contestant 13? Do you want to chime in here? Deleting Bootstrap from a project.
I think that Bootstrap has its place and it can be useful.
Okay. It can be useful, but non-committal on whether it's good or bad. Contestant 25, can you finish off for us here? What do you think about deleting Bootstrap from a project?
Well, I think Bootstrap is a no-go.
is a no-go.
I wouldn't do it.
Wouldn't do it. All right.
Okay, so question for all of you.
Well, hang on.
no,
we've got to let Team Valentine's Grinch here. It's their turn to ask a question for the panel. We're going to bounce back and forth so that everybody gets a chance here. So,
how about I go?
Yeah, I was going to say, let's go to Captain Fortran, Sam Basu. Sam.
Yeah. I like Fortran, I like COBOL. And just based on the last answers, I mean, we are already starting to see which way people lean. And this is going to be a deal breaker of a question. We'll get to the technical stuff, but why do you hate Valentine's Day?
Why do you hate Valentine's Day? Let me start with Contestant 25 over here first. Contestant 25, why do you hate Valentine's Day?
Well, you know, I've had my heart broken so many times. I just look at it as like another day. I just can't deal with all the lovey-dovey, holding hands, going out to dinner type things. You know, I have a heart of stone nowadays, and I just don't like celebrating.
Brilliant.
There we go. And let's continue on to Contestant 513-8008. Why do you hate Valentine's Day?
I've never had a card.
Never had a card. Oh. It's such a shame.
Contestant 13. It's going surprisingly dark. Like
very dark. Contestant 13. Why do you hate Valentine's Day?
I think that it is just an excuse to spend a bunch of money.
Just an excuse to spend money. All right. And Contestant 314. Last one up here. Why do you hate Valentine's Day?
I actually don't hate Valentine's Day.
Oh, okay. All right.
I hate the commercialization of Valentine's Day, but I think if you do your own thing and make it your own holiday, it can be great.
There you go. All right. That's a nice spin there. I like that. I like that. Let's bring it back over to Team Candy Hearts. Your next question for the panel.
So, Ed, do you want me to ask? Do you have
Sure.
Okay. So, where is your comfort level with adding functionality to the application while at the same time managing chat on stream? How do you feel about that?
How do you juggle the two? So let me start with Contestant 13 this time. Contestant 13, why don't you start with your answer?
Well, it's tough to do two things at once, but I think it's a fun challenge. It might lead to some spelling mistakes, either in chat or in the code, but either way, you'll work through it together and figure out what's wrong.
All right. Let's try Contestant 314. Same question.
I have a really hard time walking and chewing gum at the same time, so I'm more than likely to write code into the chat and send some text into the code base.
Okay. Let's come around to Contestant 25 over here. Contestant 25, let's hear what you have to say.
Well, you know, I'm pretty good at juggling, so I think I could handle both the app and the chat at the same time.
Okay. And to wrap it up, Contestant 513-8008. Same question.
Expert level.
Expert level. Ooh.
Yeah.
It looks like Alyssa likes that answer. All right. All right.
You're saying you are expert level, right? Like it's
Yeah.
Okay. Very enthusiastic. Awesome. That's great.
Well, what is brilliant is having a hard time chewing gum and walking. You can't beat that.
Yeah.
That made me laugh so hard. I love it.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. Now, off to Team Valentine's Grinch. Sam and TJ, your next question.
TJ, you want to go?
Yeah, so I'd be curious if you're starting up a new project, you could build anything. What are like 2 or 3 sort of either they could be frameworks or tools, but like what's like if you had 2 or 3 things that like go to, yes, I'm definitely going to build this, or things that I really like, what would your short list be?
What would your short list be? So what do you say? What do you say we start with Contestant 513-8008? What would be on your short list?
Well, you've got to love a bit of Blazor. That's got to be it. What else? Well, I like APIs. So I'd like to include an API somewhere. But it's an hard question, like.
Okay.
TJ, did I sense like maybe a hint of a British accent there? So we got to keep in mind. Move on.
Okay.
Wait,
Contestant
what?
25. Same question.
Ooh, if I had to build something, I'd definitely start off with semantic markup, a little bit of Sass thrown in there, and maybe a hint of React, but don't twist my arm.
All right. Let's go to contestant 13. Same question.
So, depends a little bit on the project, but I would probably start with a CLI tool of some sort to help me be more productive with starting up the project.
Okay.
I'd probably go out and find some fun design language that might fit my look and feel so I can grab something maybe off the shelf so I don't have to spend a lot of time writing the CSS myself, for example. And then maybe a third one, I don't know, maybe just the developer tools in the browser.
Okay. All right. And contestant 314, why don't you wrap it up for us?
I would definitely start with .NET Core, and depending on my mood, I would build in either MVC or Blazor using an MVVM pattern. And again, depending on my mood, I would either use a model binding or set up a web API service.
Okay. All right. So we're hearing some services, some interesting architectures being passed back and forth. I like it. I like where we're going already here. So I think we're going to come back over to Team Candy Hearts. So your next question, I think this will just about wrap it up. Yeah, we'll have one more question here from Team. Actually, wait. I'm looking at my schedule here. Yeah, let's give Team Candy Hearts another question here.
Ed, do you have one?
Trying to think what would be.
Oh, come on, you folks are
really
thinking.
good.
We are ready to go.
I want to ask an individual one for
Go ahead, Alyssa.
8008. 88008. That
Oh,
one.
okay, sure.
I like your answers so far. Are you flexible on your love of Bootstrap, though?
I could swing a bit of Tailwind.
Okay. A little bit of Tailwind. That's not bad. We can work with that. And Team Valentine's Grinch, do you have any question here?
Maybe to all of you. Which one of you think that you can draw like from scratch? You have some design aesthetics. Like if we give you a blank slate and like Team Candy Heart doesn't know that me and TJ have been working on this for like a few months now, okay? But we're not developers. So, I mean, we are developers, sort of, but we're not designers. So can you draw?
Can you draw? So that's a quick question around the horn. Let me start with 314. Yes or no? Can you draw?
Absolutely not. I was kicked out of art class.
Kicked out of art class. Contestant 13, can you draw?
Yes, if we are drawing stick figures.
Stick figures only. 513-8008. How's your drawing?
Yeah, mate. Expert level.
Expert level. And contestant 25? No. Okay, there you go. Now, I want to pause for a second. I want to ask a couple questions to the contestants. I want to dial in and ask a question here of each of them. Now, just to get a little bit more information about some of these folks, so we learn a little bit more about them. So I'm going to start with contestant 25. If you were building a Valentine's Day inspired app, which front-end framework would you choose and why?
Maybe
Wow,
a little
it's a
bit of
stumper.
React.
A little bit of React. Okay. And contestant 513-8008, what front-end framework might you choose?
Little bit of each.
Little bit of each. Ooh.
Gotta mix it up, right?
Okay. Gotta mix it up nice. All right. Contestant 13, what front-end framework might you choose?
I think it might be Angular because the main color of Angular is red, as are all of our hearts on Valentine's Day.
Oh, it's so touching. Contestant 314, what front-end framework might you choose?
Something in the ASP family, MVC or Blazor.
Okay. Now, let me stay with contestant 314, and I'll ask now. When you see somebody else's code, because you may have to collaborate with some of these 4 fine teammates that we have here. What don't you like to see in somebody else's code? What makes you cry?
I really dislike generic types.
Generic types. Contestant 13, same question. What do you hate seeing in other folks' code?
I think when people try to make code look more complicated than it needs to be, just to make themselves feel a little bit more advanced.
Unnecessary complexity. All right, I'm feeling that. Contestant 513-8008, same question. What do you hate seeing in somebody else's code?
The curly braces on the wrong lines.
Okay, all right, we got to get them wrapped appropriately. And oh no, we've lost our contestant 25 over there. Oh, I hope they come back. We're short a contestant. Oh no. Taking a look.
I think maybe.
Yeah, sorry.
As soon as they come back, we will pop them on, I promise.
Very good.
Yeah, we're
Alrighty,
back.
there we go. Ah, there we go. How we doing there, contestant 25? You back? Audio is being super wonky. Oh, okay.
Maybe it's the snow in Detroit.
The snow in Detroit.
You said Detroit. You said
Ed,
Detroit.
okay, so Ed thinks he knows
boy.
2 of the intestines.
Wow. Okay. Ed thinks he knows. So let me hand off. Contestant 25. We were asking what do you hate seeing? What makes you sad that you see in other folks' code that you might have to deal with from some of these folks, fine folks that we have here? Oh, trying to get contestant 25 in here. They're still muted.
Wasn't they trying to say like silence is what they hate or go to
Silence.
statements?
They hate silence.
Hey, I did COBOL. I did Fortran. Go-to is brilliant.
Go-to
You're
is
jumping
brilliant.
and you
All
have
right,
no
all
idea
right.
what you're doing.
So let me hand the questions back off. Let me go back to Team Valentine's Grinch. What your next question for our panel of contestants?
TJ, your turn.
Oh man, I like the question about things you hate. What's something that let's flip that question. What's something that when you see it in a code base, you love seeing, or like what's your like developer OCD? Something that you have to do in each project you work on.
Okay. Let's start with contestant 13 on the side here. Let's start with them first and go around the horn. What do you have to have in your project?
Spaces over tabs.
Spaces over tabs. Wow. All right.
That's a strong statement.
Wow.
Okay.
And it's riddled.
Very, very divisive here.
Wow.
All right. Contestant 314, what do you need to have in projects to make you feel good? What's your developer OCD?
Definitely abstraction of commonly used code and functions. If I see someone repeat the same line of code twice in an application, they're going to hear about it.
Cool. Keep that code dry. Don't repeat yourself. I like it. Contestant 513-8008. See, I'm trying to make that so dramatic. Same question. What gets your developer OCD ringing that you need to have going on there?
Newing up things. Gotta have dependency injection in ya.
All right, a little dependency injection. Hey, contestant 25, same question. What do you need in a project?
Accessibility.
Accessibility. All right.
Chat room said console.log.
Console.log, they're saying in the chat room. CLW is here. Hey, how's it going? All right. I think we've got time for maybe one more question each. Let's come back over to Team Candy Hearts. I see Alyssa's pretty excited here. I think she knows who they want to select as their team partner here.
Yeah, I feel like me and Ed are going to have to duke it out back scenes to see which contestant wins.
Okay. All right. So do you have another question here?
Yeah. So if you were going to test your application for accessibility, what tool would you use?
Ooh, okay. What tool would you use to test for accessibility? You know what? Let's start with contestant 25, who just mentioned a little bit about that.
Well, the tool under my tool belt would be X.
All right. Contestant 513-8008. Same question.
But I do it in UAT, like user acceptance testing. I make sure they think it's all hunky-dory.
Okay. Little user acceptance testing. Contestant 13, same question.
Having some good results with the compliance sheriff.
All right. And contestant 314.
I would use Mozilla's front-end accessibility tester to make sure the actual rendered content was accessible and not necessarily the back-end code.
There we go. All right. I like it. Very practical. Back to Team Valentine's Grinch. Your last question for the panel here.
Do you have one, Sam, or else I could take it if you don't, or it's up to you.
I mean, I can ask.
Go for it.
Okay. What do you like seeing in your backend APIs?
What do you like seeing in backend APIs? Let's start with contestant 513-8008. You can go first this time.
I do like a bit of HTTP client factory.
Okay. HTTP client factory. Let's go to contestant 25 next. What do you like seeing in your APIs?
I don't work in the back end, so I have no clue.
All right. Contestant 314, same question.
Definitely clean view models for your UI views.
All right. And contestant 13, same question.
Nice and clean RESTful APIs that are well documented.
Well-documented, clean APIs. All right. I think we've got some clues here. Certainly, some of these folks, Ed thinks he knows who some of them are. And we've definitely picked up on an accent in one of our contestants. So there's some definitely leaning one way or another into who the teams want to recruit to join them. So let's do this. Can we dismiss our contestants for a little bit here? And I'd like to talk to the two teams and see what they think. Let's talk to them for just a little bit here. I'm going slightly off script, but I think we're good. This will work out. So teams, let's start with TJ and Sam. You've heard a lot from our contestants here. So many different choices. One is Pi. One of our contestants is Pi. One of our contestants is 25, 13, and 513-8008. What are you thinking here? We've got a bunch of different skill sets. What are your thoughts about recruiting someone? What are you looking for now?
So I think here's what we know. Like, we have a British person who loves the modern stuff, but it's careful and conscious of what it takes to build a modern app. We have perhaps somebody from Detroit who cares about accessibility. Okay. And 25, I think, was level-headed. Like, didn't hate Valentine's Day, kind of played it diplomatically. So here's what I think, like, TJ and me are looking for. It's going to be a web app. and we're going to try to ruin Valentine's Day for everybody, so that nobody can send roses to anybody, because we're Grinches.
Okay.
So we will have an API, and
you're just
we
going
will
to
have
send
a
folks
web app.
glitter? Is that what you're
Yes, something, but not roses. Definitely not roses. So we are thinking we could use somebody with a design aesthetic. Somebody who needs a little bit of design can make our stuff look good.
Okay. And Team Candy Hearts, Ed, Alyssa, what are your thinking? Now, let's not try and reveal or guess any of the identities here. What are your thoughts about some of the contestants we've heard here?
Well, I know that 3 out of the 4 are cool with my no bootstrap choice. I know that we have a Blazor, Angular, React choices, for what they would prefer to work in. And since Ed and I have already decided to go Blazor, that kind of, feeds into my
directs a little.
Yeah. What about you, Ed? Were you picking up any vibes?
Yeah, so I think we've got some pretty strong dev skills on our team already.
Okay.
So I think we need some help with things like time management, maybe some code review, and some accessibility notes to really just bring home a good idea and make it win over these guys over here on this other team.
Okay. All right. Now, let me give each of you, a few minutes on your own. Let's dismiss the rest of the teams here for a few minutes and give them a chance to gather their thoughts, talk to each other, and make a decision on who they want to recruit to join their teams. There we go. So, chat room, it's just you and me, just hanging out. It's your buddy Jeff. So this is the time when they're going to talk through, right? We've heard where they're leaning, right? Sam and TJ, they're looking for somebody who's a little bit more of a designer. They think they've got their web skills down. And Alyssa Alyssa and Ed, they're looking for somebody who can help with a little project management, somebody who can help out, provide a little bit of guidance, a little bit of leadership. Kind of interesting that they want to recruit somebody into that type of a role who they haven't even met yet. They don't know. They're taking a guess as to somebody who's off camera. They've only heard a garbled voice here. That's kind of interesting. Oh my goodness. So here's what we're going to ask. Each of the teams to do. They're going to write down their contestant number that they're preferring on a sheet of paper, and one representative from each team will be designated to announce their team's pick. All right. So they're getting that together. And Ed's looking for anyone better at staying focused than Ed is. Squirrel. Something like that. Right. Oh my goodness. So let's see what happens. I'm going to give them just another minute or so here. I'm keeping an eye on the back office chat here, the private chat, to make sure that they've got who they've decided together who they want to invite to join their team, and we'll find out who then will be part of our panel to judge the winner of an application that these teams are going to build celebrating Valentine's Day on Friday. Will be that judgment. So it looks like Alyssa is ready. How about TJ and Sam? Are we ready over there? I'm waiting to see a ready statement from them over here in chat. This is so exciting. I can't wait. It's so much fun to have these types of interactions. Chat room, I hope you're participating. You click through that link and make sure you get your opportunity to win a gift card. There's a couple of gift cards available today, 2 $100 Amazon gift cards. Make sure you check out that link from Nightbot in chat. Click through and you have an opportunity to win. There we go. All right, we have all the teams are ready. Can we bring Alyssa, Ed, Sam, and TJ all back in? Hey there, Alyssa, and there's Ed. There we go. Good to see you. All right, teams, we're back. And I'm guessing we have a spokesperson from each team that has written on a piece of paper or something who they want to bring in. I started with Team Candy Hearts. I think it's only appropriate if we go to Team Valentine's Grinch. Who do you want to choose to join your team? Which contestant?
Let's ask a question here. Okay. We heard from all 4 contestants here.
Sure.
What if both teams like this like the same contestant?
Yeah, that is a problem.
That's a great question. And the answer simply is if you both like the same contestant, neither one of you get it and you have to choose again. No. I'm gonna have to go to the judges. Her name is Sarah. Sarah, what do you think? If both teams want the same contestant, what do you think?
If both teams want the same contestant, we're going to chat to decide who gets that person. And so make sure you guys have a backup in mind.
All right. So there you go. We'll let chat decide who wins. That's you out there, chat room. So, Sam, TJ, who's it going to be? Who's joining Team Valentine's Grinch?
So I can take
say that. Yeah, TJ, go.
I can take this. So obviously, great contestants. I got to get the political thing out of the way, right? So there's so many good choices, great answers, right? Tough decision. Really had to think it through. But we were really looking for someone with a bit of front-end background. And we were also looking for someone that played into, we are the Grinches. We're going for an anti sort of Valentine's Day vibe. And so we were really looking for someone that really just like played into that, right?
Yeah.
And so with those factors in mind, I've got written down here.
Contestant 25.
Contestant 25.
All right. Now, let's go back to Team... I'm forgetting my team names already. Team Candy Hearts, Alyssa and Ed. What do you think? Who are you going to recruit to join your team?
I want to say real quick, I want to give TJ props because he's a true developer and wrote down the number without using paper.
I know. Absolutely ridiculous.
And
I think it's funny, the different
25.
styles we
Yeah,
went
and Alyssa had like a full set of markers prepared for this, apparently.
Oh, not even. That's just how I roll. They're
Yeah.
always there, ready to go, DJ.
So
This is how Alyssa orders at Starbucks.
Yeah.
So this is
Sarah,
bad. Now it's the chat room, huh?
Let's start up. Can we start up a poll in the chat room? Chat. Who should contestant 25 join? Should it be Team Candy Hearts, Ed and Alyssa, or should it be Team Valentine's Grinch, Sam and TJ? How do we want to do this? Do we have a Twitch poll handy that we can start there?
Sarah might be able to kick one up, I think. Is there any way we can
there we go.
Can we bribe people? Is that part of this? I don't know.
I'm seeing lots of Team Candy Hearts in the chat.
Yeah, but you guys have a few minutes to plead your case while Ivana and Cindy are popping up that poll, and then
all right,
you guys in the chat get to vote. So
I'm going to quickly influence chat. So contestant 25 mentioned React by name, and React is kind of my thing. I was the one that mentioned React straight from the start. I think it'd be pretty rude if the other team steals contestant 25, the person with our ideal skill set. So I'm going to call shout out that if you vote for Team Candy Hearts, you're really doing this entire thing a disservice. It really discredits the whole thing.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I have to say, first of all, Alyssa's 25 was presented in a much nicer fashion, so there's that.
Okay.
I mean, the artwork alone speaks for itself. But I think 25 and I we both come from the same city, so there's that too.
Well, see, here we go. This is all a conspiracy.
Wow.
This is conspiracy.
We have
Exactly.
Ed calling out in the middle of this stream, suddenly knows the identity. And this is not sketchy to anybody else, right? Like,
hey, listen, Ed this whole time has been DMing me. He's like, I think this person is this one and this person's that one.
Really?
He's such a big spoiler, all right? He can't just have fun and be chill. Ed has got to know.
Do not reward this behavior, right?
Do we think any of them are Dee Walsh? Is she possibly one of the contestants?
I don't know, but I'm pretty
I didn't see a
upset
42.
because I did not even guess that.
So I drive my wife mad when we watch like cartoons like Bob's Burgers and stuff because I can guess like every single character's voice actor the second they start speaking.
The poll is live. Go
this
through.
is easy for me.
Do you have like an encyclopedic knowledge of voice actors? Like, I don't understand.
I don't know. I'm like what's Shazam? The Shazam app.
Shazam for voice actors.
Yeah.
No matter what developer we end up with, I'm going to be pretty happy. So.
Oh,
I don't think
okay.
we have
We're
any
going to be
choices.
happy even if it's not a developer.
I mean,
We're
I might not be happy, but I'll be fine.
We know the mystery contestant isn't Sam, so I mean that's good.
I mean, right?
Anybody
Exactly. We're not gonna have a third person on our team going mobile.
We know who it's not.
6. It's close.
What is it at right now? What's
8
happening?
to 6. Oh no. If the vote is 50-50, I will cast the
Wait, 8 to 6 to what?
Now it's
Yeah,
9
if
to
the
7,
vote's
9
50-50,
to
Jeff
8.
has got to like flip a coin or something.
I will flip a poker chip that has the same thing on both sides.
Have you ever looked up like some of the crazy rules for like election districts for what happens if there's an actual tie? Like it's like bonkers. Like there are situations where they literally will flip a coin to decide like election winners if it is an exact tie. It's nuts.
Just a few seconds left here. 12 to 8. We want to hear from you, chat room. Make with the clicking right at the top of chat. Click through who's going to have contestant 25 join their team, and it looks like Sam and TJ will have contestant 25. So before we reveal the identity of contestant 25, Alyssa and Ed, who's your second choice?
I mean, it's got to be.
I don't know if we should say second choice. That sounds a little.
Oh, now you say it's not a second choice? I see.
Who was your first choice, but you decided to get 25
very
instead?
beginning that this person was going to be on my team. I think it was prophetic.
Yeah.
Okay. I said that 800008 was
513-8008 is who you'd like to recruit to join.
Yes, please.
All right, there it is. So we've got our choices. Can we bring on contestant 25 first? Contestant 25.
Who is it?
Drum rolls, drum rolls, drum rolls.
So excited to find out.
Yay! Yay! That's awesome.
Holla.
Hello. Go ahead. Why don't you tell everybody who you are, contestant 25, in case folks don't know?
Well, my name is Chris. I'm a developer advocate, work at Quicken Loans, and I'm friends with everybody on the stream. I've had a blast. So let's make this happen. TJ, I know you like the React thing, but dude, I'm not a React developer. But if I did have to use it, it'd just be a little bit. You might have made a bad choice.
No, that's all right. Nobody else at least mentioned it, so you at least gave it some positive vibes. So I'm okay with it.
All right. And let's bring on contestant 513-8008. There they are. Contestant 513-8008, can you turn on your camera, please? And let's meet you.
Hello.
It's Layla Border.
Perfect.
There we go. Our teams are set.
See, we got the British accent right.
You did. I thought my accent might be a little bit too noticeable, so that's why I went with a London accent. Badly.
There it is. So now that we know who our teams are, so Chris is going to be joining Sam and TJ over here. Layla is going to be joining Ed and Alyssa to work on a project, all Valentine's themed. But let's meet who's going to be on our judgment panel on Friday. Can we meet the other two contestants?
See, this is bad. So the folks we didn't pick?
13. That's right.
Yeah.
You threw them
They're
off the
judges?
island, but they get to judge.
Not good.
So,
all right.
Contestant 314, can you turn on your camera for us, please? Look at that. Why don't you introduce yourself there, contestant 314?
Hi, everyone. Rick Hellwood. I'm a senior sales engineer at Progress.
There we go. All right, so we know who Rich is. And let's talk to contestant 13. Can you turn on your camera? Hey.
Hey, everybody.
There we go.
How's it going?
Shut the front door.
Yeah. Apologize for the mess behind me. I completely forgot that I need to move that and shut things, but it's all good.
It's all good. Oh, my goodness. All right. The teams are set. We know who's on our panel for Friday. Now the question is, what are you going to make? What are you going to do?
Well, the teams are set and so are the winners. I mean, you understand that. Right?
Oh.
Yeah, you can say that, Sam.
I'm sorry, what?
Wow.
Sorry, what now?
And I want to know how Ed thought that Layla was in Detroit.
No, I said 25 was in
25.
Detroit.
Oh, I get it. I see. So we're going to be building some things live on stream throughout the week, and Thursday you'll see a little bit more from these folks, and Friday we'll wrap things up right here All right. I'm feeling pretty good about this. The shade begins, CLW says there in chat. Oh, here we go. It's already starting. The smack is already starting. Sarah, how are we doing?
You guys, this has been fantastic. Thanks, you guys. I think a couple things to note. So obviously, as Jeff mentioned, we'll be back Thursday and Friday, beginning at 11 a.m. Eastern time, where each team will have 2 hours each to work on their apps. We'll judge on Friday afternoon. But between now and then, we each one of the folks on the top, so Alyssa, Ed, Sam, and TJ, actually all have regular streams as well. So you can tune in to React Wednesday, Blazor Power Hour, UI Wednesday, or the .NET Dev Show on Thursday. So there's a good chance that those folks may be talking a little bit about what they're doing during those. Can't promise anything, but if you have any questions or any ideas, let us know. And I do think we have prizes for today to give away. So I'm going to hop off. Jeff, I will feed you those numbers in just a second from, or Ivana and Cindy will, and we will we'll get you guys squared away. So
All
one
right.
second. Thanks for being here.
Yeah. All right. So, my goodness. Let me ask our contestants, now that you've been unmasked and we've turned on your cameras, what'd you think? Was this where you wanted to end up? Are you okay? Layla, did you really want to be a judge, or are you okay with Alyssa and Ed being their second choice?
I was happy either way. I'm not particularly happy about being second choice. I mean, the backup plan.
So there was
heartbroken.
I would just point out.
My first choice.
I'll just point out how nicely Alyssa had the 25 drawn out with hearts.
I know, Sam. I know. And you and I have actually streamed together before, about a year ago in Sweden. And so we would have had a connection. So, maybe I'm just going to be a saboteur on this stream.
Yeah.
And, because I'm second choice.
There you see that. We've made a dev connection. That's what that is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And gosh, Carl and Rich, what do you think? You're gonna get to judge what's happening here on Friday.
I love being judgmental, so this is perfect.
There we go, Carl.
Yeah, I think my code probably would have accidentally sabotaged whoever's working with me, even though I was trying my best. So it's probably good for both teams.
Oh my goodness! All right, and Chris got bumped off there. I'll see if we can get him back.
And might I suggest, Mr. Fritz, this could be a change of career. Like, you're an expert matchmaker, so just consider things here.
Matchmaker, make you a match, find you a find, catch you a catch. Right? Isn't that how that goes? I don't know.
Layla, was it you who said you've never had a Valentine card?
I've never had a Valentine's card, no.
What?
But she has that voice mod.
Hang on, I'm making a note to remedy this situation.
Also, I get the sense that Alyssa is quite good with cards too. Just a hunch.
Just from the the Fritz's Love Connection app. I see folks Copper Beardy suggesting there in chat. All right, I see it.
You see, I would have been quite good on the Valentine Grinches because I'm very.
Her voice mod.
What is going on? It keeps on switching all the time, and I keep getting a notification through.
There's a hotkey that will trigger that.
Press anything.
I feel bad about picking Layla second, but I also feel bad about sending Chris to the losing team.
Hey, come on.
I know. That's what we had to do.
If you don't care for accessibility, you're automatically on the losing team.
Hang on, but I think we can all agree that there's going to be a fantastic stream from the Layla apartment in the sky, the penthouse, at some point later this week, because that's just the way that things go there in 3D rendered space inside that penthouse. Hey, Chris was back. There he is.
Didn't know you were an apartment in the sky.
No, this is her virtual office.
It's pretty amazing.
I've been on the street recently, right out there and kicking around with the dirt.
Oh no! So, Chris, I got to ask you, how's it feel to have been the object of desire for both teams?
Well, I'm sort of used to it anyway. So
That beard, like that's just
it's the beard and the tattoos. You know what I mean? It's just luxurious.
There you go.
No, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. It's gonna be fun.
And you're gonna have to deal with two fellows here that aren't looking to make Valentine's too happy an experience. You okay with that?
Yeah, because misery loves company, so I'm cool with that.
All right.
That might be the name of our app. Right.
Misery, I like that. And we could put a horror theme on it, like the movie Misery, because my life revolves around horror movies.
I like that. But keep in mind, Jeff, like even Grinch has had a change of heart. Like he's not against like love, like the other who said it? Carl or Rick said, like the commercialization of love. That's not sometimes okay with some people, but we're okay with love. Maybe we'll have a change of heart.
Man, look at this team chemistry we've already got. This is already done.
All right.
Wait, so Team Grinchmas, have you decided what technologies you're using?
No.
I said yes, and you said no.
There's some
good. Okay, we got to plan some.
So I think we do have to announce it. We have a couple winners from our drawing for a couple $100 Amazon gift cards. Oh my goodness! Drum roll? Can we have a drum roll? Is there a drum roll? There we go. We're going to send a $100 gift card to two lucky winners, and those winners are Flash Jab and Tactical Thomas. Congratulations. You just won. Yeah, golf clap for them. There you go. Congratulations. Well done. You just won a $100 Amazon gift card. Don't spend it all in one place. Well, actually, you kind of have to. All right. But go ahead and check that out. Thank you so much for participating. I think it's almost time to send our teams out into the wild to start planning, start collaborating, figuring out what kind of mischief they're going to create. And we'll see later this week. Very cool. All right. I think that's it. We're going to use Scratch. They're going to use Scratch to build with. That's a great idea. That's been suggested here in chat.
Cut out the visual stuff. It's all CLI. It's just like back to DOS prompt. It's all good.
Okay.
Web Forms isn't dead yet, Sam.
Somebody heard me on a podcast earlier this week. All right. Well, thank you so much, panel. Thank you so much, teams. I think that's all the time we have for today, and we'll see you later this week on CodeItLive. Take care, everyone. Goodbye. Goodbye.